Good news out of Charlotte. LaMelo Ball has been cleared to resume individual basketball activity after a CT scan on his fractured right wrist showed that it has been healed. There's optimism he could return to game action in 7 to 10 days. Ball's probable return comes as the Hornets sit at the 8th seed, 10.5 games back from the Miami Heat in the 7th. LaMelo, one of the best shows in the league this season before that injury. Stephen A., will he put the Hornets back on the map?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear, Molly.
Do you think LaMelo returning will put the Hornets back on the map?
Yes. Listen, they're a 500 team now. And I got to admit, I like the young talent that they have here. And I got to give props to Gordon Hayward, who obviously departed from Boston. He's averaging about nearly 20 a game, 19.6 to be exact, on 47% shooting from the field. I give him a lot of credit where credit is due in terms of what he's been able to bring to the equation, even though he's missed about 12 games for them right now. And we all see Devontae Graham, the P.J. Washingtons of the world, Miles Bridges, a human highlight reel. But LaMelo Ball, 15.9 points, 6 assists per game, 45% shooting, 37.5% from three-point range. And the dude is just assertive. And this team believes in him. They really believe in him, and they love it. They love being on the floor with him. And I think when you watch these young dudes play with nothing to lose because they don't have much history to fall back on, I definitely think he can come back and make things very, very interesting for this team moving ahead to the end of the regular season and possibly getting into the playoffs.
First, let me say this. LaMelo Ball, if he comes back from this successfully, Stephen A., plays in most of the remaining games, I still think he should be Rookie of the Year. In fact, I think coming back off that injury only adds to his case for Rookie of the Year.
I agree.
Not just because Edwards or Halliburton haven't, cemented it, but because what a thing to come back from. It's supposed to be a season-ending injury. You're clearly the best rookie. You come back and play out the remainder of the season, play your team into the play. If he does that, to me, he's Rookie of the Year. It only adds to his case. That's the first thing. The second thing is he's already an all-star caliber player already, and he's a 19-year-old rookie. He is a genius-level passer, and as you pointed out, he can shoot, he can do a lot of stuff, he's assertive. Is he going to put the Hornets back on the map? Not in a permanent way, and I'll tell you why. Because when you have a market like Charlotte, you have 6 years to win a championship, and then a marketable star like LaMelo is going to want, unless you've won a championship or you think you're going to win it the next season, his agent's going to call the team and let Michael Jordan know, you might as well trade us this upcoming season because otherwise we're just going to sign away. You're not going to get anything for us. Because he's going to want to play in a major market. And by the way, his game translates to a major market. Personality, game, the whole thing. And so I don't see, now look, maybe Michael Jordan, Stephen A., is willing to spend money when he thinks he has a chance to win, and he'll be able to show that, but he hasn't shown that yet. And if there's not a team around LaMelo that can win a championship in the next several years, he's not going to wind up staying there. And so he won't be put back on the map in any permanent sense. I mean, the Greek Freak just signed an extension, but when was the last time a guy at that level signed in a market like that past the original, the original extension, right? Like past 7 years. I don't see him, unless Jordan changes his ways as an owner or shows, hey, if the door is open, if I see some daylight, I actually will spend. Why would he stay there?
Max, he's a rookie. Can we deal with that 3-4 years from now? The Charlotte Hornets, what have they done in recent memory? I mean, just think about that for a second here. The fact of the matter is they haven't been in the playoffs, what is it here? Since 2015, 2016 season, they've only had 3 playoff appearances since getting to the semifinals, led by Paul Silas in 2001, 2002. And so in those 3 appearances that they made the playoffs since, they haven't been out of the first round. So when we talk about putting them back on the map, simply making the playoffs will do. And not to mention the fact that LaMelo ain't going anywhere for the foreseeable future. He's going to be there at least the next 3 years. So what's the problem?
Oh, no problem. We're talking about back on the map.
Put them on the map.
I'm saying in a permanent way where he's challenging, or at least until the next 6-7 years, where he's going to be challenging.
Does LaMelo belong in the top 3 of this list?
Hell no. And I love LaMelo, and he would have been my Rookie of the Year had he not gotten hurt. I think this kid is a future star in this league. I love LaMelo Ball. But see, this is it's stuff like this that diminishes the credibility of ESPN. Okay? This is the list. This is our list, right? Am I correct about this? I believe it's our list. Yes, it is. Let me tell you something right now.
ESPN.com.
What the hell? I mean, ESPN needs to drug test anybody that has something to do with this list. Makes no sense. Devin Booker is not LaMelo Ball before Devin Booker? Really? LaMelo Ball before Donovan Mitchell? Really? LaMelo Ball before Jason Tatum? Really? I mean, what the hell is going on? Okay? I believe that ESPN should call security right now and go to whoever put this list together on ESPN.com, line them up, and test every one of them. Every one of them. Somebody's out of it. Somebody's out of it. I mean, you got to be kidding me. This don't make any sense right here. I just gave you a little. Now we can go down the list. We can go down the list with a few guys. But I'm just saying. I just gave you Ben Simmons. I understand the brother doesn't shoot the ball, but what else doesn't he do? Have you seen this man play defense? Ben Simmons is a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Simmons is 6'10", can handle the rock, can pass, has a very, very high basketball IQ, can finish at the basket, is incredibly athletic, can run the show. I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? So I'm just saying top three. LaMelo Ball can play. I believe in this kid. Happy for Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Hornets for drafting him. I believe in him. I believe this dude is going to be an all-star sooner than later, a perennial all-star. The kid's got swag. He's got game. He was my rookie of the year before he got hurt. I get all of that. But to sit up there and put him number 3, ahead of Donovan Mitchell, ahead of Devin Booker, ahead of Jason Tatum, just to name it, ahead of Ben Simmons. I mean, come on. Come on. People need to get tested. I work for ESPN, all right? I've been here for the better part of the last 17, 18 years. I have nothing to do with this list. Nothing. I disassociate myself from these people. Whoever the hell put that list together. Whoever, that has nothing to do with me. Go ahead, Max.
Put together a hell of a list. Very good list. It's an excellent list. I don't agree with it exactly. I probably also would have Devin Booker 3rd or 4th, along with Donovan Mitchell. But Stephen A., at the very top of the article, it explicitly states that this is about future value. This is about value going forward. So here's the big difference between LaMelo and, well, let's start with what LaMelo can do. He's a potential future MVP. He can do it all. Now, when you look at the list, Luka Doncic and Ben Simmons are the only passers on LaMelo's level on the entire list. Unlike, however, Ben Simmons, LaMelo can shoot it. Meaning he and Luka are kind of in a category by themselves in terms of the genius level passers who can also hit shots from the outside. But here's where LaMelo really differentiates himself, separates himself. He's like 5 years younger than the other guys we're talking about. Donovan Mitchell's 24. Devin Booker's 24. Ben Simmons is 24. I'm with you. Right now, obviously, they're better. They're 5 years older than him. His future value in the next 5 years, and by the way, these dudes weren't as good as LaMelo at 19. In fact, very few players who have ever lived have been as good as LaMelo at the age of 19. And then you ask yourself, can you build a team around him that could maybe win a championship? Does he look like that kind of player? Yup. Does he have swagger, confidence, right? Is he the kind of guy, a team will follow? Yup. Can you see him winning an MVP in the future? Yup. Check. And in terms of an offensive player, what weakness does he really even have? No, he's not 6'10" like Ben Simmons. He's 6'6". He's a genius-level passer who's 6'6", balling at the age of 19 as few ever has, and he can hit shots from the outside? No. Would I have him 3? I'm with, especially Devin Booker. I don't see LaMelo putting up, like, show me where you can score 60 points in a game, right? Because Devin Booker can do that. Show me where you can dominate a playoff
70.
game like Donovan Mitchell.
He scored 70 in a game against Boston.
Devin Booker is like, it's indecent what he can do. But I'm just saying, he hasn't proven that yet. He hasn't shown he can dominate in the playoffs like Donovan Mitchell. So I'm with you there. I probably have him like 5th. But I could see why he's top 3 based on his age alone.
Max Kellerman, I hear where you're coming from. And originally, upon seeing the list, it's like 25 and under, okay? Their game, where you'd rank them, et cetera, et cetera. I get your point, upon reading it, where you're talking about future potential. But I still maintain my position, Max Kellerman. Because let me tell you something right now. Let's go further in the list. How do we not have Devin Booker in the top 5?
I don't know.
How do we not have him in the top?
He's getting better and better.
Have you heard anyone on the air rave about De'Aaron Fox more than me? De'Aaron Fox is in Sacramento. Almost no one raves about him but me, because I saw him give it to Lonzo in the NCAA tournament, and I religiously bring up how that's the lone argument, legitimate argument, Magic Johnson and I have ever had, because I was like, don't draft Lonzo, draft De'Aaron Fox. That's the dude you want. I love De'Aaron Fox. He's at 6. He's ahead of Devin Booker too. I mean, come on, man. You just look at certain things and you're like, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? So it's not just about LaMelo. It's several things that are questionable on this list. All right, and I'm only playing. They know I'm only playing when I'm talking about them getting drug tested and